Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Payne.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon here in Hollywood, California, out of the Sunset Gower Studios, where Scandal, Newsroom, and Heroes is shot. But there's no scandal on this show. And then every Thursday at 7, Saturday at 1 on my syndicated CNBC and NBC radio news channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and now everywhere where iHeartRadio is. And this is a show about hope and happiness and no scandals, so there's no gossip and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. And if you missed my really incredible guest last week, we did have Corey Feldman and his wife Courtney here, and it is now on YouTube, so you can see that great interview that it went everywhere. So please do tune in there. And I just wanted to take a minute as well to thank my on-the-air team at both of my stations today, because not only have I broken the 92,000 view mark on YouTube, I've also been on the air splattering hope and happiness today for 268 consecutive weeks. Unbelievable. So time is flying. I am having fun. And so xie xie, which is Mandarin for thank you, to Jarvis, Tony, Fred, Mark, Mike, Carlos, and Joe. Yep, I've got a lot of men holding me up on the air and in the air. Thank you so much. Shout out, excellent customer service encounters, starting with my favorite guy on the lot, and that is Jackson at the Sunset Gower Studios. He just told me and Tony that we were his favorite people on the lot. I hope nobody on the lot is listening, but I wanted to give him some love. He's been great. At the years I've been here, he's always here with a smile. Also to Nicole at Diamond Resorts, Felicia at the Mac counter, and Alan Roy, the house manager at Jazz Kitchen in Disney Downtown. Thank you so much for taking care of me this last weekend. And I put another drop in my bucket list. Thanks to Agape's 24th annual Sacred Service Saturday event, I got to volunteer and put love in action at the Habitat for Humanity Restore in Torrance. A shout out to all of my teammates, David Silverstein and Angie, for their love, sweat, and tears coordinating the 40-plus sites as far away as India and all over the U.S., and my cool bosses at the Restore, Ryan, Desmond, and Greg. And to all of my new Balanced Tai Qigong students who said that my class was the perfect way to end Sacred Service Saturday. I do love my life. And now for today's show. Dr. Emily Letran is a great example of waking up to the American dream, coming to the States as a refugee from a war-torn Vietnam and working her way through dental school, and is now a high-performance coach, helping business owners and entrepreneurs maximize their potential to streamline business, increase profits, and win back time from work for their family. She's been featured on NBC, ABC, and Fox News, the featured success story on Dental Town magazine and Global Woman magazine. Dr. Letran owns 2 multi-specialty group practices, is the author of a book From Refugee to Renaissance Woman, and speaks about high performance and business growth strategies. She is most proud as the mother of 3 wonderful children. Please welcome to the studio, Dr. Emily Letran. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Marissa. I am so honored to be here, and I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all your listeners.
Absolutely. And they are happy to have you here as well. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
You were born in Vietnam, and tell me, go from there.
Yes, I was born in Vietnam in the late 60s, right, during the Vietnam War. So, I grew up with a warm family, my mom, dad, 3 other siblings. And when I was 8, my mother passed away due to cancer.
I'm sorry.
And, yeah. And, growing up, what I saw on TV were those images of war, bombings, there's dead bodies, there are people fleeing villages. So that's what I remember about the war.
Okay.
I wasn't exactly in the war. I was in Saigon.
Okay.
So I was pretty sheltered until, of course, the last day when Saigon fell.
Yeah.
And when the communists came over, those beginning some dark days.
Yeah. How old were you?
When they took over, I was 8 years.
8 years old?
Yeah,
8 years old. So that was the same year your mom died?
I think my mom died a little bit after that.
A little bit after that?
Yes.
Okay. And so you were, how many siblings do you have?
I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Okay. And you're the oldest?
I'm the second.
Second? Okay, so
second,
you're
but the
consultant.
oldest sister.
Oldest sister. Okay.
Yes.
So you saw it? I mean, you heard it on the radio, or how did you know about the whole Saigon falling?
Oh, I lived through that day. I remember.
Where were you?
I was at home.
Okay.
There were, the sky was red with, I guess, all the artilleries and everything. And the next day, when you go out to the street, you could see uniforms of the soldiers that
Died.
they took off their uniforms because the communists were taking over. And that's what I remember very vividly.
Right.
And
They were forced to take them off, or they were afraid?
I think they were afraid.
Okay.
Yes.
So they took their uniforms
Yes,
off
yes.
and just ran.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They didn't want to be part of Target.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my brother coming home with some bullet casings, and my dad said, "No, throw them away."
Right. Right.
These are things that you don't realize because you're small, and not until later when I grow up, when I'm in this country, that I'm studying about the war, and that I would actually understand it more.
Right. Right.
Yes.
So what did your father say at that point?
Well, both of my parents were philosophy teachers, so he was pretty content.
Okay.
he
No
was-
panic?
Right.
No panic?
He actually was panicking, but he figured he's a teacher. How
He
bad
should
could
be
it
okay,
be?
right?
But little did he know that life really changed because he couldn't even teach philosophy anymore. There's only Marxism and Leninism in a communist country.
Right.
So he became a history teacher. And so he taught history. We moved in and lived with my aunts. There were 2 of his younger sisters who both have children. So we always were living in an extended family.
Okay. Okay. No choice there.
No choice
Did
there.
they took your home?
No, we kept our home.
Okay.
Yes. So
But you went for safety's sake, or to live with your aunt?
No, we were all living there together.
Okay.
In the same
Oh,
in the same home.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. My mother's cousin was a doctor, and when the communists came to China, to their town, because he was a doctor and there was disdain, he was made to clean the public bathrooms and wear a dunce hat and be paraded through the streets, and he committed suicide because he couldn't take the humiliation. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. The thing is that we really don't think about this stuff and how traumatic. And so what was interesting is knowing that you actually went through that.
Right.
And had, it wasn't like, oh, we want to come to America because, it's a nice place to be. It's from a war-torn place that you came from. So
Yes.
it kind of gives a little bit a wider perspective than saying that it's too bad that no sun is out today, right?
Right. And then when you live in a communist country, because your shelter, a lot of things are censored. You can't really see the outside world. You don't know. When I came here, I remember when I was in 10th grade reading the book 1984. It was actually the year 1984.
Wow.
And I actually could totally understood everything that was described there, because it was that, Orwell's vision of a communist society, which
Right.
is Big Brother and everything, and that's exactly what we had.
What you had there. So
Yes.
how long did you stay there after the regime came?
Well, I left in 1981, so they came in 1975, so about 6 years.
Okay, so how old were you then?
When I left, I was 13 years old.
13. So 8 to 13 you were in that space.
Yes.
And if you're tuned in and you're wondering who I am privileged to speak to today, her name is Dr. Emily Letran, and she is talking first count of her experience growing up in Vietnam, being taken over by the communists, and then leaving for America. So, so whose idea was it to come, and how did that happen?
Well, in 1981, Vietnam was going to go to war with China in the north and Cambodia in the west.
Right.
And so a lot of the young men were leaving because they're going to be drafted to go to serve in the war.
Okay.
So my aunt decided to leave the country. She was a pharmacist. There were some political things going on at work. And so when she decided to leave, she took a total of 6 kids with her.
Wow.
Her 2 children, me and my older brother, and 2 other cousins. All the guys, it's because they're going to be drafted.
Right.
And I'm a girl. I wasn't going to be drafted.
Right.
But my dad told me, you're the oldest one in the family. You need to go help your aunt. And so that's
that
why
must have
I
been
went.
hard, picking which kids and who got left and who went.
Right, because it costs money.
Yeah.
You have to pay your way to try to escape. So we didn't have enough money for the whole family to go.
Yeah.
So it was my oldest brother. He was 14. And then my other 2 older cousins, they're 15 and 16. And then me, I was 13. And then the other 2 cousins are even younger.
Right.
And so we left in the middle of the night, crawling into a boat. About 60 people crammed together like sardines in a 50-feet boat, and basically escaping from the country.
Wow. Do you dreams or nightmares, or do you remember this stuff? Was it trauma?
I actually remember it very well. Luckily I don't have any nightmare.
Okay, good.
And I actually describe that in my book fairly well.
Right. Right.
I think I was lucky because when I left, I was young enough not to worry.
Right.
So it was, okay, we have to leave Dad. We'll see him again. At least I have my aunt, and we're going to be on this boat, and we're going somewhere. But it wasn't so much afraid of, the unknown future.
Right.
Because when you're young, you just don't think that far ahead.
Right. Right. You don't have the fear. Future events already ruined.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So then you're in the boat, crammed together, 60 people, and you became one of the, what we call the boat people, right?
Yes.
Refugees to America.
Yes.
And then they settled you where?
We were on the boat for 7 days. We were actually got caught and then robbed and then released by the Vietnamese Coast Guard.
Wow.
And then once they basically went on board, they were actually shooting at the boat. And then they went on, they took your belongings.
Wow.
Well, money. 'cause
Right, right.
You're not going to need Vietnamese money, right?
Right.
Once you leave. And then we were on the ocean for another 5 days, and we got to Malaysia. We were, they took us to a refugee camp. It was called Pulau Bidong. And we just live in makeshift shelter, limited food, water, electricity. My 2 main activities were studying English and just swimming. There was nothing else. It's an island. You're surrounded by water.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. And you're still pretty optimistic at this point?
Yes. The only thing I remember, because we were just enjoying our life with whatever little we have.
Right. Well, you're 8.
Yes. And it just, going to the ocean and looking that way and knowing the families over there.
Wow. And then, are you having some memories right now?
And then we were there for about 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And basically, when you're in the refugee camp, you're going to be interviewed from different countries, and you may be taken in by any countries. That's why now you see the Vietnamese, there are people in Australia, there are people in
Let's
France.
take a breath for a second. I see some emotion, and I just wanna honor that emotion. I think it's beautiful. What's
Thank
coming
you.
up? What's coming up? Just like reliving the tears of the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. And I am just really, really incredibly impressed with what you've had to go through and what you did. And it's amazing, the resilience of you. And I know that your son's here, and I know that he's so appreciative of what you went through to give him a better life.
Yes.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's wonderful that you're here, and it's we take for granted. Honestly, we take so much for granted, and we're getting a firsthand experience of someone who went through a lot to get here. So beautiful. Yeah. So then we are in. So we're at the camps swimming and getting to and learning English. Your English is fabulous, by the way. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
And then so then you got interviewed.
Yeah, we got interviewed and we got accepted to go to the United States.
That's great. So there, all kinds of countries were interviewing to see who was taking.
Yes, there were
Okay.
different countries. There, the United Nations, UNHCR, were basically running the camp.
Okay.
And so there are different countries that come in. You get interviewed, and if you get accepted, then that's the country you go to.
Okay. Were you hoping for the States, or at that point you're probably too young? Was your aunt hoping, or?
Yes, my aunt was hoping for that because we have a cousin who had left in 1975. He served
Okay.
in the military.
Oh.
So he left.
In the States?
Yes, he left before
Okay.
the war ended.
Okay. So you wanted to be reunited there.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's the one person that we knew.
Right.
in the US.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. So then you landed in the U.S.
Yes.
West Coast.
Actually, we were first settled in Louisiana,
Oh.
in New Orleans, Louisiana,
Wow.
because that's where my cousin lived.
Okay.
So we were there for 6 months,
Okay.
and then we moved to California.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of beignet before you came over.
Yes, I did.
Beautiful. And then because the show isn't like too long and I want to get to your business, so you got here, fast forward for me. You went to school. You did very well. Yes?
Yes. Fast forward, there were many nights of translating English to Vietnamese to understand the language.
Yeah.
Sometimes I used to go to school and I didn't really understand what were being said.
Oh,
You just kind of sit there and you look around.
Right.
You just wait until you get home so you can look up all the words.
wow.
Then a lot of studying, a lot of training, a lot of determination, because I know it can only get better. You didn't understand anything.
Yeah.
At
Did
some
you-
point you will.
Yeah. Did you ever feel sorry for yourself? Like, why do I have to? Or were you, what kept you? What
No.
were the thoughts?
The thought is, I got to live up to what my dad wanted.
Yeah. You wanted to make him proud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
No, he passed away.
He passed. I'm sorry.
I actually never saw him again.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you talked to him. Or no?
No.
You didn't. What
No,
happened?
he passed away when we still have the embargo between the two countries.
Okay.
So there was no way,
To communicate.
to communicate. We
Yeah.
wrote letters,
Okay.
and when he passed away, I got a telegram.
Well, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's with my dad and they're on the other side, and they're probably playing mahjong or something. And he is so proud of you, so proud of you, of what you've done with your life, and how you, gosh, little girl, had to grow up really super fast. Yeah. So I know that. I feel the presence of love in here. So good for you. And then you became a dentist. Not easy, right? And then a very good dentist. I saw some of your reviews online, and then that's not good enough. You're a bit of a overachiever, I can tell. I can tell because I resemble that remark too. And then tell me what made you want to become a business coach?
Well, what I see is there are, since I've taken the time to really invest in myself, to go to conferences, to study, to run the business the most ideal way, as I learned from other mentors and trailblazers.
Yeah.
I wanted to share that knowledge. I don't want a lot of the other business owners to try to figure out themselves. If there's a way to shortcut it,
Right.
to share that knowledge.
Yeah.
That's what I chose to do. And, honestly, I just need to plan what to do with my life after all these little people leave the home. So
Yes.
it's a little part of my, empty nest. I'm gonna,
Right.
deal
right,
with that.
Right.
Yes.
So you get here, you go to school, you get your dental degree, you got married.
Yes.
Yes, still married?
Yes.
Okay, and you met him where?
He's actually a friend of my older brother. So
okay.
he graduated before my dental school at UCLA.
Okay, so you met him. Is he Vietnamese as well?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then you have not one, not two, but 3 children.
Yes.
And ages?
Jennifer just turned 21. Alan's going to be 17, and Austin just turned 15 a couple weeks ago.
That's great. And Austin's here taping. Peace in, peace out in the studio. That's wonderful that he got to come. I think school's out, right?
Yes, school's
Yeah,
out.
yeah, great. So what would you say, what, besides your dad and wanting to honor, what would you say are the qualities that this situation and what you went through? Because I'm a huge believer that no matter what happens in life, it's good, bad, great, sad. They help us develop quality skills and abilities that that make us who we are. So this whole journey of yours, what would you say developed in you as a result of that?
Well, I think that it has made me a person who always appreciate and have gratitude for everything you have.
Absolutely.
Because I do believe in myself sort of creating my own opportunities sometime, showing up where I can be of service.
Yeah.
But, having the gratitude and the appreciation is what really take me far. Because you remember the people who help you. You remember the relationships that were made. You remember paying back in a way,
Right.
And then pay forward, keeping your life like that. And then the other thing that I learned is I am responsible for my own joy.
Wow.
That I need to bring joy to my life. I'm the one bringing joy to the party. I'm the one bringing joy to work. Bringing joy to the studio.
Yes, you are.
And tears.
No, tears are the disinfectant that keep our hearts soft. And it's
Yes.
always a compliment to me. I know my friends think I'm crazy, but I love it when people cry because then I know that I'm seeing their heart and
Right.
that I am connecting
Right.
with their heart. So,
Right.
so that's a good thing.
And so I think that those are the things, gratitude, appreciation, and bringing joy.
That has been brought forth because
Yes.
of what you went through exactly as it was. And so I think if I were to take a life lesson out of this, whatever happens to us, if we can get to a place of what is that bringing forth in us that is beautiful and that makes us feel good, that is then we've mastered whatever it was. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, good. So, all right. So now you want to give back. You want to help people so they don't have to start at the beginning. Did this come out of, I've always been curious, in dental school, in medical school, in all of the, even, my PhD, we don't talk about how in school we learn the content, but not necessarily the process of how to make what you know into a business. Right?
Absolutely.
So I'm guessing that in dental school, that's kind of the same way, right? There's not really a, this is what you do for the teeth. Now, what is it that you do for your business?
Right. My understanding is there's no time.
Yeah.
I remember taking maybe 1 or 2 classes, just touching very little on practice management. And I've been very blessed because when I came out, I was working for different offices, so I kind of pick up different things.
Yeah.
And then I started reading some journals. I read some books, and then I read the references in the books, and then I go and read some more books. And then that led me to going to seminars and learning from VHS tapes. But I pick up those ideas fairly quickly. And it's a great blessing because it's not really self-taught. It just always be looking out for information from leaders, from mentors, so that way I can just shortcut my way to success.
Yeah. Continuous learning, or the desire for continuous learning, I think is one of the keys to success. And if we think that we've stopped learning once we finish our formal education, no matter how far you go, then you're losing out, right? Because it's a continuous. So it looks like you grabbed that by the cojones and you went with that. And I tell grad students all my grad students, I tell them, go to conferences, go meet people. I still have people that I met when I was a grad student who, have supported and followed my path. So that's what you did.
Yes, that's what I did.
And in fact, you found me because I am into continuous learning. Those of you who already know, I'm going to be new faculty at the CEO of Space International, which is pretty much the university for entrepreneurs, right? And you're part of that. You graduated from there, and that's how we met, right? So you would say continuous learning is something that everybody who wants to be successful is to continue to learn from other people.
Yes,
right?
so I look at that as an investment. It's an investment in myself. When I have my seminars, I talk about investment, and people think I'm going to be talking about stocks and real estate.
Right.
But I talk about investing in yourself. Going to conferences, have a coach, have a mentor, investing in your business.
Right.
You don't need a big house. You want a great business,
right?
Because that's what's generating the income, allowing you to have your big house. But
right.
You don't need to start with a big house first.
Right.
And investing in your team, the people who support you, or just either your employees or even your team of experts. It could be your CPA, your attorney, whoever work with you to help you run that business. And that's how I look at that, because I certainly did not accomplish everything by myself.
Right.
There's a lot of other people teaching me and helping me along the way.
Yeah. So investment would be your first step to success.
I would say that's the quick start step.
Quick start step. Investing in yourself and investing in the people around you.
Yes.
Yeah, with time, right?
Yes.
Time and attention.
Yes.
Some money too.
Right. It could be your investment could be your time. It could be your resource. It could be your effort.
Yep.
Yes.
Great. Great. And I'm just getting the signal now. It is time to go to our sponsor spot to thank all those who make this show possible. So we will be back in 2 and 2. Peace in and peace out. Are you prepared for your opportunities? Are you primed for your big break? Success coach Dr. Emily Letran can help you gain clarity about your unique abilities and how to remove roadblocks to your highest performance self. To be the best that you can be, go to www.dremilyletran.com. That's Emily, Letran.com, and sign up to start your success partnership today. Want delicious Vietnamese Asian fusion cuisine that is so good for your health you won't believe your taste buds? Olac is a 100% plant-based vegan restaurant founded by Mai on living foods and a love for animals that won't make you sacrifice taste for health. 2 locations to delight you, downtown LA and Fountain Valley. So go to www.olac.com, AULAC, to book your reservation today. Saving the planet has never tasted so good. And we are back. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, with Universal Broadcasting Network, Radio TV, and then every Thursday on my syndicated CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and syndicated everywhere on iHeartRadio. And this is a show about hope and happiness, and today's guest is certainly hope and happiness personified, coming from literally a war-ravaged Vietnam, literally being one of those 60 people crowded in a boat and robbed, and then having to wait to see where her future is and never seeing her father again, who did send her with love and faith and an opportunity to come to the American dream. The United States not only gets a dental degree, not only has 3 beautiful children that she raised, but now is a performance coach, helping you help yourself with all the things that she's learned on her own firsthand. And so we've been going through some of the examples and also the tips on how to be more successful. And you can also invest in Dr. Emily because she has events that are coming up where you can learn about these things. You don't have to learn them on your own. And tell me where you're doing your events.
Well, my event is coming up, and I'm really excited about it.
Yep.
This is the 3rd time I'm having this event, and I have myself as one of the presenter and a couple of other very well-known thought leaders. Bernie Dorman is one of them. Forbes Riley is another one.
Great.
Bill Sturley. And it's a 2-day event. The first day we will talk about high performance, all the pillars of high performance that include clarity, energy, productivity, courage, and influence. And then on the second day, it's all about business marketing. We actually going to have a panel with some Google experts talking about marketing, and we'll talk about trust, which is basically how you sell, right, or how you present.
Yep.
And I'm going to be talking about appreciation, all the great things that I do to run my practice for the past 24 years, all the nice things I do for my clients, and which I'm applying it to my coaching business, and I'm sharing all those tips to other people. It's going to be in Costa Mesa, the Crown Plaza, Costa Mesa.
Okay. When?
July 15, 16.
Okay.
From 9 to 6 each day, and people can go to the same website, drEmilyLetran.com. You're going to see a flyer on there. If you click on that, it will take you to that page.
Beautiful.
It explains everything.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'll have to stop by because I have Bernie's award that I picked up for him in India.
Oh, okay.
We both got he didn't get Iconic Woman of the Year. I got that
You
award.
got that one, okay.
But I picked up his, so I'll have to drop his off.
Yes,
but
he'll be there on Saturday.
On Saturday, okay. I'll have to remember that. And if I'm not speaking somewhere, I'll try to stop by and say hello as well.
That would be great.
Yeah. Because I actually know Forbes as well. We have a manager in common, Allie Mang.
Okay.
So small world.
Very,
I had
very, very
no
small
idea.
world.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go back to some of your wisdom and your tips. So you talked about influence. So appreciation is the one you started. Investment, right?
Yes.
What do you mean by influence? How do people? Isn't that manipulation?
Well, for me, having influence is being a role model.
Okay.
So, I would start there. I would invite you to ask yourself, what would you want to see in a role model? Who's a role model to you? And then you can write down those characteristics and you start living those characteristics. You start living like your role model.
Okay.
And when you do that, you just level up your game, your performance, your life, and you become an influence to other people around you. When I'm talking about influence in a workplace, like let's say to my team, being influential, meaning I'm guiding
Yeah.
them, I'm teaching them, I hold them accountable, I hold myself accountable. Being influential in the community means giving back,
Okay.
because when you give back, you have that kind of name. When you talk, people listen.
Okay. So it sounds like an emotional bank account, making the deposits in the emotional bank account that, who does that? Is it Peter Senge? No.
You know, it's social capital. That's what it is.
Yes.
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 And that's how I encourage people. And
Covey.
show,
Stephen
yeah,
Covey.
and show people how to have that kind of influence.
Right.
It's not about I'm the boss, I have the position,
Okay.
I make more money than you. Not that kind of.
Do you want to
influence.
work here? Yeah. If you want to
Right.
work here, do what I say.
Right.
Right. Okay. So it's informal influence, really. It's like
Right.
right. Something to aspire to.
Right.
Now, what if you have someone on your team that just doesn't get along with anyone? I don't know if you've ever had that. I have clients all the time. There always seems to be that one person doesn't get along with people. You know, you try to motivate them. Nothing's good enough. You even give them money, and that's not good enough. What do you do with people like that?
Well, you know, first of all, you have to have clarity in what you want.
Okay.
And then you find out from that person what he or she wants. So let's say it's a she. Well, find out what she wants. What is her goal while she's working with you or cooperating with you.
Or not cooperating.
Or
with
not
me.
cooperating. and you know, also your values, your beliefs. Because let's say if my value is to be a contributor to the society, you know, to the community,
Right.
and if you're my partner and you about money, we might not work along,
Right.
you know, very well.
Right.
So the values, which is part of the clarity, comes into place. And if, you know, she can't really agree with you on what you want to do, if she doesn't want to go where you want to go, then sometimes you have to give her the opportunity to work somewhere else.
Okay. So it's not personal it's not personality, it's the clarity around common goals.
And also the system. So if I have a systems of business, these are the steps that I want you to take. And if you can't follow the steps, I would sit you down and invite you to tell me why you can't, you know, you can't do step 3, or you just can't do number 5, or whatever step it is. And I would, you know, I would ask you why you can't do certain things. You give me the answer, I give you recommendation. If we keep having that same conversation, then we probably are not meant to work together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not a 100. It's not when you have a team. It isn't always going to work out with the match, is what you're saying.
Right. But then what you want to do is you want to play to that person's strength.
Okay.
So for example, there's a test that I can have my staff take. It's called the Kobe test, and it shows you what is your strength. So for example, I'm a kind of a spontaneous person. You know, my mode of operation is a quick start. So I make quick decision. You know, I move fast.
Yeah.
And I could be working with you, and you're a fact finder, so you ask 20,000 questions. You want everything listed. It doesn't mean that we can't work together, but if I can understand that's your strength, if I want to ask you to do certain things, I'm going to give you a list. I'm going to explain it in steps. Right? If you're asking me to do something, you can probably say it in 3 sentences, and then I'll be fine with it. And I won't get stressed because I'm, you know, that's my mode of operation. But if somebody need a lot of details, then, and I don't give them enough details, I'm going to stress them out.
Right. I use the Myers-Briggs to do similar things.
Right.
To see,
Yeah.
you know, why people drive you crazy and why people you get along with certain other people. Good. So what would you say in creating a team? You're the expert. So if you're looking for people to work with, what's the best way to find a good fit team? Like, do you do it when you first? Are there certain questions that you ask people besides the Kobe? Like, let's say you're going out for lunch with someone and you're thinking about working with them as a partner. What are some things that you have found that are non-negotiable? This almost sounds like a romantic partnership. Could be. What have you seen works together and doesn't work together?
I really think that it comes down to the clarity, the value system.
Mm-hmm.
Because if people don't want the same thing as you, they could work with you for many years and then they don't want to work anymore.
Okay.
I actually have firsthand experience with that.
Uh-huh.
I have an office manager that I keep stepping up, and
Right.
she would step up with me.
Uh-huh.
Right? Let's go to this conference, and we're going to go back and we're going to do this, and then next conference.
Right.
And at some point, she got burnt out. She said, "Okay, I don't want to go up anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
happy here.
I'm happy here."
Yeah.
And so when you have somebody like that, it's a little hard to try to move up.
You're dragging.
Yeah, there's a saying that the same people who work with you when you're at $500,000 are not going to be the same one when you're at $1 million, right? Sometimes you have to bring in somebody else with a different set of eyes and a different goal. And it's great because that particular manager was with me for 14 years. So she was with me when she knew me when I was an associate doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we went all the way into having 3 offices. But at that particular point, she wasn't interested in going up anymore.
Right.
And so I think for the long run, it's what do they really want?
Okay.
Right.
So that first discussion to compare vision, goal, values
Yes.
is the most important.
Yes.
And then if things change, it doesn't mean anybody's bad or wrong. It's just that chapter is done. You had 15 good years with her.
Right.
I'm guessing that you still, have a good relationship with her, and
Right.
it's just a different match.
Yes. And sometimes people move on to something else and they're perfectly happy with that.
Yeah.
And sometimes the outsiders look in and they don't understand why.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it, once you find out that this might be a compatible person in the sense of values and goals, the systems, the training, everybody can do it if they put their mind to it,
Right.
unless you have a really weird or difficult system.
Yeah.
But those parts, you can always figure it out and put people into particular position to complement each other.
Right.
And so that way you would have a team that run together.
Great. So if you're listening and you're thinking of starting your own business, or you've started your own business and you're in a bit of a plateau, or you've hit some barriers, then you'll definitely want to go to the 2-day workshop that Dr. Emily Letran is going to be providing in Costa Mesa, July the 15th and 16th at the
Costa Mesa
Crown Plaza, and go to our website, www.dremilyletran.com. And are you, by any chance, giving away a free ticket, or I'm putting you on the spot with the Asian Oprah giveaway here? What would you like to give?
Of course, I actually brought a copy of my book
Perfect.
to give to from refugee to Renaissance woman.
Beautiful. And you saw her heart in this interview, so if you want to get all the details from that would be good.
Yes, and I'm giving away a free ebook if they want to go to exceptionalleverage.com
Okay.
/ebook.
Okay.
They can get an ebook that will share my personal story and also the business strategies that I've been using for the past 24 years.
Beautiful. So
And
that's no limit there.
No limit there.
All right.
And if they want ticket to go to my event, they can just email me directly.
Okay.
So I know that they listened to your show and they heard about it. Is Coach Emily Letran at gmail.com.
Coach Emily Letran at gmail.com. And the first person to go to the number 4 balance.org and put in Emily or Vietnam or anything like that, you'll get the book, and I'll have you autograph it and get it to them.
Oh,
Yes?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Absolutely. So, what's your biggest wish? What's your biggest wish? Your desire, your heart's desire right now?
Right now?
Yeah. What's your heart's desire?
right now, what I want is for a lot of people to know my story as a message that you are unique in your own way, that you can do anything you want. If you be committed, you take the right way, meaning you invest in yourself. You actually put in the effort to learn, so you don't just give up halfway.
Yeah.
And you didn't really, look into all the resources. Because I like to hear people say, "Hey, I'm successful," and I heard that from Emily.
Beautiful.
Not an inspiration, but it's really to
You can
motivate,
do it.
move people
Yeah.
to actually
If
take
I can do it,
action.
you can do it. But you
Yes.
have to work for it.
You have
do the
to work
action.
for it.
Yeah,
Yes.
willingness without action is a fantasy. That's one of my favorite sayings. Dr. Emily Letran, thank you so much for coming to the studio. I'm giving you the Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award because of everything that you have gone through. And what was your father's name?
His name is Lim.
Lim. And I know that Lim is just smiling and loving and very proud of what you have done with your life and holding his, who he is for all the world to see. So thank you very much. 谢谢.
Thank you.
All right. And we are at the end of the show, in fact. Welcome to the Balance Bar, where I invite you to join me in balancing more your life. And it's day 20 on the 21-day fast from complaining with Dr. Marissa. Today's balance tip is from my favorite relationship teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, who says, if you want a dog, don't buy a cat. Lots of the complaining we do is because we have expectations of people that cannot or will not or are unable to do what we want them to do. So if you know that going in, you have no room to complain. If you want a dog, buy a dog because cats don't bark. And that's today's balance tip on the fast. We are almost finished with round 72. Round 73 starts July 1st. So please do sign up officially on my website, drmarissa.tv, so that if you do 21 days in a row consecutively without complaining, then you will get a pack of my motivational cards, 52 card pick-me-up, Stacking the Deck for Life Balance with Dr. Marissa. So please do let me know tomorrow if you've been able to do that 21. And please get the app that I had made by teenagers just for you so that you could have a daily way to track your complaints, and you get a lot of applause, the same sounding applause that I have on the show when you are able to stop the complaint before it gets out of your mouth. I also have Don Miguel, have had Don Miguel on as a guest a couple of times on the show, so you can look for it on my iTunes and YouTube. Let's see, what else do I have here? On the Beach, Balance on the Beach mini workshop coming up July 15th in Venice Beach. Please go to my website to register. And I'm finally succumbing to all of the requests to have a weekly Chinese yoga class with my balanced Tai Chi Gong. That will be at Rosie's Dog Beach starting July 8th, every Saturday morning at 8. I think it's either 8:15 or 8:30. So join me there. Like more information, please do contact me, drmarissa.tv. August 1st to 5th, I'll be in Florida with CEO Space International. If you'd like to sign up there, welcome.ceospaceinternational.com/Dr. Marissa. Next week, it is that time of the month. Yep, sexual healing with Dr. Marissa, because I am determined to make pleasure a G-rated topic, and I have more CEO Space International guests. My two new favorite people, Adam and Randy Markell, will be my first couple to come on my special series because, it's never too late to pivot in the bedroom. That's Adam's best-selling book. So that's next week on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get balance with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
learned to cry at an early